What's up, everybody? How's it, Hawaiians, both near, far, and everywhere in between? Jeez, my tongue is fat today. But thank you guys for joining me in for another podcast episode. I really appreciate it. My name is Kalei2K, and this is my podcast called Hawaiian. Basically, it's just me, you, this microphone, and me just going through my therapy session. I appreciate you guys for joining me in again. And if this is your very first time, this is kind of just me sharing, what it's like to be a Hawaiian out here living in the mainland, trying to do my best to bring my Hawaiian culture and share that with other people and share my thoughts on basically my own personal life. And like I said, it's my therapy session. I appreciate it. I get to de-stress here on this podcast, get to share some insight. And I kind of just want to learn how to interact more with people. So if you look me up on my social media, if you look me up on social media, you'll find that I post and I put questions on there. Go ahead and answer those questions. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and let me know. Just put, ask a Hawaiian and ask your question, okay? But thank you guys for joining me in for another episode. Let's get it right to it. So, my now moment right now, for this week, I wanted to talk about being a parent. Being a parent isn't easy. There's really no book on how to be a parent. Yes, there is some that help you do this, do that, fine tune who you are. But really, there's no one book fits all. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, it's not one glove fits all, one shoe fits all, whatever terminology you want to use. It's tough. There's no quick fix to be a parent. There's no TikTok hack to be a parent. But being a parent is very circumstantial. It could be how you were raised, how you're trying not to be that way, or how you're trying to be that way. So like growing up, and this is for a lot of Polynesians, some of it may still be going on today, but growing up for us, it was hit first, ask questions later. Okay. And so for me as a parent, I try to break that. I try to ask what's going on. And then if something does happen, where it was wrong, then there should be a punishment to follow. Okay. So there are certain things, like I said, it's circumstantial, especially how your kids learn. Okay. So my oldest daughter, she learns one certain way. She follows this path to the left. My second child, she learns this way, path to the right. My youngest child, I don't know which path she takes. Maybe she takes the path that goes slightly to the right and curves to the left. Who knows? Okay, so that's where I'm saying parents, being a parent is tough. It's not an easy job. It's a 24/7 job. I give a lot of credit to how my kids are raised by my wife. She does a very, very excellent job. She puts her heart and soul into taking care of our kids. She sacrificed a lot to be home, to take care of our children. But I think the best way to be a parent, especially if you're with a spouse or if you're working things out with, maybe you have a baby mama, maybe you have a baby daddy, maybe you're divorced, whatever it may be. But when it comes to, I guess, being a parent to a child, you have to work things out. If you're single and you have nothing to do with anybody else raising your kids, then fine, you've got your own path. I can't give you advice on that because I don't know what that life is like. But make it work. You need to have a foundation on how to raise your kids. Okay. If you're a parent and maybe you disagree or you have a baby mom, you know what I mean? Like the relationship you have between each other as adults to care for this child or these kids that you have, there has to be a communication. There has to be an even playing ground where you guys work things out for the betterment of the child. Yeah, you guys might not be together. Work it out. Even as married couples like my wife and I, some days we don't agree. Last night we got into an argument. Nothing too crazy, but we just got into an argument. We disagreed. But we were able to work things out because that's what you do. You grow up, you put your big boy pants on, big girl panties on, whatever it may be, and you work the problem out. You compromise, you solve, and you go and you take care of these kids, okay? And growing as a parent, like I said, everything is circumstantial. You can't, and there's no book. Really, there is no book. Like, you can't be like, telling your kids, okay, wait. Like if they're arguing, and depending on the situation, they're arguing, they're fighting, they're playing, like, wait, I'm going to go read about this real quick and I'll be right back to tell you what we need to do next. You can't pause life when it comes to kids. You learn on the spot. You're basically thrown into the fire on how to be a parent, and you just go with the flow. You take the experiences you've had. Like for me, like I said, the way I grew up was different. You take the experiences you had and you play it out in your head. Is this how I want to treat my kids? Not really. Maybe I'll switch it up and go this way. A lot of times in life as parents, for me, the way I was raised, some of the things, yes, being respectful, talking politely, having manners, not playing at the dinner table. Yes, all those things happened when I was growing up. So the good I take from it, the bad I also take from it. And instead of doing the bad, I turn it over and do it on the opposite side and do good. So like a lot of times now I'll put my kids in the corner. I'll put them on timeout. There has to be discipline. You have to discipline your kids. You don't have to smack them. You don't have to hit them, but disciplining them definitely does help. And so, sorry, I had to write some of this stuff down. Because if a child has no discipline, in my opinion, okay, I'm not an expert. I'm not a sociologist, psychologist, whatever the hell you want to call it. This is the Kanak version, okay? The Kanaka version, okay? If you have no discipline for your children, they have no boundaries. They have no rules. They have no understanding of how society works. Why would they obey the law if they can't obey simple rules in your house? So like for example, when my daughters are done eating, they take their trash, they throw it away. They take their bowls, they put it on the counter or they put it in the sink. Simple as that. Now, if they can't obey that simple rule, what makes you think that they're going to obey, okay, maybe drinking and driving, maybe, robbing, stealing. It goes on to be a bigger thing. But if they can learn discipline, they can learn that, hey, there's certain things I can do. I have to stay within these boundaries. Dad can give me all the freedoms. Mom can give me all the freedoms I want, but there are rules to those freedoms. Just like how we are in society. There are rules to those freedoms. You can't just go out and bang your car into another car and think, okay, everything's fine. No, there are consequences that come with every action. So that's what I'm trying to teach my kids. One thing I really don't like is when parents come up to me and be like, oh, you should be raising your kid like this. You should be raising your kid like that. No. I give you advice. I share from my side how I feel. And like I said, I put it out here on the podcast. It's my therapy session. This is how I vent. This is how I de-stress. It's how I get crap off my chest, okay? And then you go and you run with whatever decision you want to make. You can listen to me. You cannot listen to me. It doesn't matter to me. But I really don't like it when parents like, you really shouldn't be doing that. That's the part where I'm like, okay, now we're going to fight. But anyways, I don't like when parents do that to other parents. And because it's like I said, parenting is circumstantial. You don't know how life is in my house. I don't know how life is in your house. Stuff that goes on in your house, I may not be cool with. Stuff that goes on in my house, you might not be cool with, but that's how we grow. That's how we treat each other. That's how my kids are going to learn eventually. And eventually down the road, when they become parents and they become, adults, maybe the things I tried to discipline them in, or maybe the way I raised them, they won't like, and they do their own thing. That's on them. But every action has a consequence, no matter what it may be. And speaking of consequences, I really, really hate it when my kids lie. In the other episode, I talked about my daughter being a thief, okay? Kids are liars. Let me put it that way. Kids lie about everything, whether they're good things or bad things, okay? And let me explain this to you. So my older daughter, because she's older, I guess, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, or whatever. I don't care because I'm not going to listen. But my oldest daughter, she's still very young. She's 5 years old. But I'm trying to instill in her to be honest. Whether it's something bad happened, whether it's something good that happened, whether nothing happened at all. Because I'm trying to teach her that when you're honest, yes, there are consequences. Yes, you will get in trouble if you did something wrong. But you own up to that. That's more honorable. That's more respectful. People will respect you for owning up to what you did wrong or what you did right. So And I'm trying to teach this from my older daughter down. She has to be a little bit more responsible, a little bit more honest with us than our other two kids, because they still have to learn, okay? So when my older daughter comes to me and she lies to me and I find out the truth, I discipline her. I get upset at her. I scold her very sternly. I'll even put her in timeout because I want her to know that you can't lie. I am the authority in the house. Your mother is the other authority in the house. Don't lie to us, okay? So when she lies to us and we find out, she starts crying, we put her on timeout, we do whatever we have to do, we discipline her. Now, when she lies to us and it's nothing big, this is what I do. So last night, our baby girl, our 1-year-old, fell down. I called my girls in from their room because that's where they were playing, and I asked them what happened. My older daughter said, "Oh, I don't know what happened." My second daughter said, she fell off. She fell off something. She was standing on something and she fell off. And we're like, okay, so why? And my second daughter says, because I was doing it. Then she followed me and she fell down and she hurt herself. And my oldest daughter, my 5-year-old, goes, oh, yeah. They were playing around and she jumped off and then this one followed and she fell down and hurt herself. That's what happened, Dad. And I look at the girls and say, thank you for being honest. Nobody was hurt. It wasn't bad. Nobody pushed anybody, so I can't really get upset, right? I look at my older daughter and I say, baby, he goes, did you know that this happened? He goes, yeah. Then why did you tell me you didn't know what happened? And right then and there, she's like, oh, I said, hey, you did nothing wrong. You didn't push your sister. You didn't kick the thing out from under her. You didn't do any of that. So if you're not at fault, you did nothing wrong, tell me. Tell me, it's okay. You guys can now, tell me, Daddy's, that's what I'm here for. You tell me the truth and I will have to give a consequence. If you did nothing wrong, tell me. Then I'll let you know, okay, you did nothing wrong. Go ahead, do whatever you guys do. Just be safe. But when you lie, it gets under my skin because I don't want to raise liars. I don't want my girls to be sneaky. I don't want them to lie because I want them to know that, hey, Daddy appreciates honesty. Okay, so when you're honest with me, I can take that in and I can run with that. Because eventually when my daughters get older, I want them to know, hey, my dad's always treated me fair. I've never had to lie to him. I may have lied when I was younger, but anytime he tells me I have an issue, to talk to him, to be honest with him, give me all the information and I will make a judgment call. But my judgment call is this. I give you how I feel. I give you what I think about. And you go on and you choose what path you want to take, okay? You give me all the evidence. You give me every detail. If it's something if it's something beyond what I can give you, then I find somebody else to help. Or if it's a situation where your life is threatened, you let Dad deal with that. Okay, so this is what I've always told my girls, and I'm trying to instill that in them, that be honest with me. If something happens, if somebody hurts you or whatever, you be honest with me, you let me know, and then you let Mommy and Daddy take care of it after that. But being open and honest, because I've heard so many girls not talk to their fathers, not share their details, and go on. It's in every reality TV show. It's in every type of drama, whatever. Girls hide their romantic lovers or hide all this stuff, and they just hide. For me, I don't want that. I want my girls to be able to look at Dad and say, Daddy loves me. He wants me to be honest with him. I can share anything with him and he'll give me his insight. He'll tell me if I'm doing something right. He'll tell me if I'm doing something wrong. But at the end of the day, it's my choice. So that's what I want to instill in my girls. And yes, we all lie. We all make mistakes. We all do this. It's a human thing, I believe. It's a human nature thing. But as long as I'm their parent, I hope that they can be honest with me. I want this honesty to last all the way down so that they can pass it on to their kids and be like, hey, be honest. That's all you have to do. And you have to live up to that consequence, whatever it may be. Like for me, yes, I do lie too. Okay, I'm not perfect. And I'm in the same boat. I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to deal with consequences. And sometimes when I mess up, my wife puts me straight, like, hey, you did this, you did that. Okay, I got to be honest. I got to confess. I got to tell, apologize to whoever I may have insulted, whoever I may hurt, and take the backlashing after that. But it is something I have to live with. It may not be something I agree with, but it's something that I know that if I'm trying to be an honorable parent and I'm trying to teach honesty and telling the truth to my kids, then I can't run away from that either. So I'm doing my best to do the same thing. And so, like I said, parenting is tough. Parenting is hard. It gets on your nerves every once in a while. But at the end of the day, there's nothing better. There's no better job. If I could make money off of just being a parent, that would be amazing to me. I don't want to raise nobody else's kids, just my own. I just want to be around my own kids. I'm not going to be a babysitter. I would never be able to deal with that because I can't raise this kid as my own, But if the government would pay me every day to just stay at home and take care of my kids, just a smooth 60 grand a year would be perfect. Then I would take that. I would love that. I would love to just be a parent because that job is tough. It's hard. Doesn't come with a manual. Doesn't come with instructions. It only says experience, wisdom, good luck. That's basically that's the title, the middle page, and the ending. That's all it's going to say is experience, wisdom, and good luck. So anyways, if you're a parent out there, you know exactly how I feel. I hope this was able to help you guys out. And, there's nothing really comedic I can share about this except the fact that I guess there really isn't anything comedic I can share. I love being a parent. It's definitely taught me the fact that I can't raise each child the same. Okay, that's one thing about parenting. Each child has their own personality. Like I said, each child, it's circumstantial. Each child learns differently. Each child reacts to certain things differently. You have to be able to react and bounce between each of them. Like I said, I can discipline my daughter one way. I can't discipline my daughter the other way. So like my oldest daughter, when she cries, I send her to her room. No TV, no nothing. Get on the bed. My second daughter, if she starts acting up, I put her in the corner. I put her on timeout. She hates that. They both hate getting disciplined. Every kid hates getting disciplined, but it is necessary. So hopefully it's working. We'll see. Anyways, excuse me real quick. All right. Anyways, we're going to get going with this. Oh, sorry. One last thing I wanted to share about being a parent, and I'm glad I wrote it down. If you're going to be a true parent, make sure your household has this. If I can give you any good advice, this is what it is. Besides discipline, love, respect, and kindness. That's what I try to teach my girls, to love one another, respect one another. I tell them all the time, you respect mommy, you do what mommy asks you to do, we will do what you ask of us. So like with my number 2 child, she's sassy. She just says it how it is. She kind of reminds me of my wife a little bit. But my number 2 child will say, I want a bottle. Give me bottle. Or she'll yell, Dad, give me a bottle. And I go, excuse me? First of all, I'm like, excuse me, who the hell do you think you're talking to? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Dad. No, you don't talk to Daddy like that because you don't like it when I talk to you like that, yeah? But when I talk to you like that, it's because I'm scolding you. It's because you're in trouble because you did something you're not supposed to do. So I teach her, be kindness, oh Lord, be kind, be respectful, and to love. And so my daughter will be like, oh, I'm sorry, Dad. Can I please have a bottle? Okay, no problem. You respect me, lie down, put your head down, I will make you a bottle. That's all I ask you to do. And when she does that, I reward her with what she's asked. So there's an exchange. She's learning that, hey, if I respect Dad, Dad will respect me. And like I said, I don't want it to just be when they're young. I want it to be when they're old enough to understand, hey, I did this for you, would you please return the favor that I'm asking for? Be respectful to me too. And to treat her sisters with respect too, not just going around hitting them because she's angry, which has been something that she's done growing up thus far. She'll have this short temper and she'll just hit. And we keep telling you cannot do that, baby. Use your words. It forces her to talk. It forces her to learn new words. It forces her to be more literate. And it forces her to say things instead of just react with the natural instinct of man, which is to hit, to fire back. And so we've been talking to her, teaching her this, and lately she's been doing very good. So she has the love. She definitely has the love. Anytime my other girls get hurt, she's over there trying to check on them, make sure they're okay. She has the love. She's learning respect. She definitely has discipline, and she's definitely kind. All right, now let's move on to the next segment called It's News to Me. All right. Okay, so going around on social media, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but on social media, there's this, it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, it's on YouTube. Basically, this image or this video has been going around of this lady who they think is a lady, and they're wondering, how old is this person? Basically looks like Tales of the Crypt came out of the ground and decided to have a family. That's basically what's going on. But the person looks like, and some people are like, oh my gosh, this lady is 399 years old, 400 years old. Basically, they are saying that the dead have family here, or the dead is visiting family. False. All that is false. A news article came out on amp.marca.com. They did some research and they found out what the truth is. Okay, so this viral video of a super elderly person who is claimed to be 400 years old, wrong. That has been debunked. Many thought the elderly person was a woman. Wrong again. It's actually a man. So this person in the picture, or in the social media post, or whatever it may be, the viral video of like this person kissing their child, kissing this great granddaughter, whoever it may be, has been going around. This person, the elderly person on there, who's very skinny, looks like I said, looks like the crypt keeper from Tales of the Crypt just decided to come back into life and to check on their family. This person is a Buddhist monk, Luang Fo Yai, or Lung Ta. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. Who is 109 years old and currently lives in Thailand. His granddaughter has shared videos of him with millions of views. Okay. So, and it's crazy because it does look kind of scary. It does look like a skeleton decided to steal someone's skin, throw it on, and come and visit its family. Bones, it's very, very skinny, beyond anorexic, but you can, 109 years old, they look pretty good. Let me put it this way. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, so who really is the oldest person in the world, right? So if this guy isn't the oldest person, then who is, right? According to CNN and the recognition by the Guinness Book of World Records, Kane Tanaka, forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong, it's Kane, so in Hawaiian it's Kane, man. Kane Tanaka, or not Kanye, can't be Kanye, or Kane, however you pronounce it. Kane Tanaka, who is 119 years old, is the oldest person in the world. Holy smoke. So here's some information on Tanaka. Oldest verified Japanese person, has been through World War I and World War II and the Spanish flu of 1918. Born in 1903. Married Hideo Tanaka in 1992. What the heck? That can't be right. I think it's 1922. Wait, yeah. In 1922, had a few kids and adopted some as well. Married to her husband for 71 years. Her husband passed away at the age of 90 years old, and she also lived after some of her children had passed away. And that, to me, is rough. I don't know how I would feel if my kids passed before me, but 119 years, you're not looking too bad. 119 years living, that's a long time. Literally. And I hope their family, whoever that may be, is able to document some of that person's stories, of Miss Tanaka's stories. Because for me, I wish I had a video camera when my dad was alive. That way I can ask him certain questions, ask him about his life, ask him to share stories with me, so that I have that, like a diary, you know. And that's why I appreciate a lot of documentaries who do a lot of history research, and they're able to capture those moments, because I believe every life is precious. I believe every life is a book that has so many stories, so much wisdom and experience to go through. Imagine 70 years of documentation. If you were able to capture that, you could really benefit, you know, not just the world, but, you know, for me, I try to do journal videos, small ones, little 5-minute ones, whatever they may be, so that my girls can look it up and be like, wow, my dad documented this. He has pictures of us. He shares his thoughts. Even if it's for like 5 to 10 minutes, it's perfect. So that, because I don't have a lot of stories about my dad, some stories I can remember, you know, some, and I have a few pictures of him, but I wish I had more, you know, documents, more stories, more journals about him, so that I can share that, or maybe I can look through it and be like, okay, he went through the same thing I went through. What can I learn? What can I take from that? How did he handle this situation? You know, a lot of times, like I said, parenting is circumstantial. Parenting is very circumstantial. Maybe there's something he went through that I could have experienced and I could have learned from. So when I do my personal journals, it's not for the world to see. Maybe one day they will see. But for most of the part, it's for my girls to see. It's for my children to see. And, you know, if it's a video documentation that can last beyond generations, then yeah, even better. My grandkids can take a look at this and be like, okay, my grandfather went through this. How can I learn from this? What did he do that can help me? And that's what it's supposed to be about. Imagine that. Imagine this woman, 119 years of experience, of life lessons, of overcoming trials, tribulations, living through World War I and II. Japanese, World War II, big thing, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, everything makes a connection. But being able to live all through that and share her thoughts. How was it when she was going through that experience? You know, documenting that, keeping that records, beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And maybe her grandkids or great grandchildren can learn from that too. Understand that, oh, this is how life was back then. Look how far society has come now. You know what I mean? Anyways, great. I hope I live. I just want to live till I'm 75. That's good. That's like a good range for me. Okay, I understand. I don't want to live too long. I don't want people to take care of me, have to wipe my ass when I'm crapping all over the floor. I don't want that. I want to live till I'm 75, still be conscious, still be able to walk around, still be able to do my own thing, but not really have to depend on anybody, because I want my kids to live their own lives. I want my grandkids to live their own lives. I really don't want anybody to take care of me. If I could, when I'm that old, I want to have just a small little house, no stairs, one floor, where I can just, and a chair that I can just roll. If I can't walk anymore, my legs don't work, whatever may happen, I just want to roll in out of bed, roll and roll and roll. That's it. Roll into the kitchen, roll out of bed, roll into the bathroom, roll back into bed, watch TV. I just want to live a small, simple life at that age. And if I could, pass away in a small home. I don't want to be in a hospital. I don't want to be in an elderly home. I would rather just be in my own home, do my best to be active to the very day I die, and let it be that. That would be perfect for me, you know. To be with my wife, even better. Yes, to be with my wife would be even better. I don't know how the circumstances would be at that point, but if I could pass my own way, that's how I would want it to be done. Anyways, that's it for that section. Let's get to the last part of this, and this is called the thought bucket. Thought bucket, thought bucket, yeah. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's grab a random piece of paper. Okie dokie. All right, here we go. Last one. Okay, jeez, my goodness, this must be a long one. Oh, shoot. Okay. Holy smokes. This is a tough situational one, okay? So this is a who you got, okay? You're in a burning house, your kids are pinned down in one room, and your wife or spouse is pinned down in another. You can only save one of them. Are you saving your spouse or your kids? Or are you choosing to die along with them? Oh my gosh, this is tough. Geez, I don't know why I ask these kind of questions. So these questions are just thoughts that I have that I figure I put them down and share them here on the podcast. Make use of these thoughts, right? I feel I would save my kids. I know that it sounds harsh, but I would save my kids because I could still raise them. I could still raise them. I could still care for them. I could still help them live their lives and get through this moment. We could all get through this moment together. I don't know if I could live with myself. I mean, it would be hard regardless, but I don't know if I could look at my wife and continue living without having our 3 kids. I believe my wife would do the same thing. I would want my wife to do the same thing. I would want my wife to take our kids, take care of them, let them live their own lives. Because at this point, I would think I've lived my own. I've lived my life. This is where this is where I'm supposed to be. My kids don't have to live through this. My kids don't have to live through this. My kids shouldn't be in this situation. My kids should have more life. They should have more experience. They should see what the world is like. But that's what I would do. I think I would save my kids. And honestly, I believe my wife would do the same thing. I would love her for it. And even if I pass wherever I may be, as a ghost, wherever, heaven, I would still do everything in my power to keep them safe, to protect them. But I would take my kids. I believe that's what I would do. I would try to save them all. Don't get me wrong. I would do everything in my power to save both of them. But my first priority would be to grab my kids, to take them out of that burning building and save them, and then come back and get my wife and do all that I can to get her out of there. I know that for a fact. That kind of went for a dark turn. So hopefully we can brighten this up a little bit. Thank you once again, everybody. Hope you guys have a great, great week. Man, that was rough. That was a hard one hard question. Should not have asked that. But anyways, thank you guys again for joining me in for another podcast. Hope you guys have a great and safe week. Find humor in all things, okay? Find something happy. Make somebody else's life happy. If you're a parent out there, take care of your kids. Yeah, that's all I can say. Take care of your kids. Raise them the best way you know how. Learn from your mistakes. Get better. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys can find me on all social media. Just research, look up Kalei2K. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got Spotify. I've got, on Spotify, look up A Hawaiian. I've got Instagram, TikTok. Look me up on all social media so you know what's going on, especially with this podcast. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for today. Love each and every one of you. Take care. God bless. And remember, spread aloha, not hate. Take care, Hawaiians. Aloha.